This video compares the Honor 8 on the left with the OnePlus 3 on the right. Because at least here in Germany, Europe, both are €399 including tax without any contract. Nevertheless, there are a lot of differences, and I hope with this video we can help you decide a little bit more. The first difference is obvious. It's the glass backside on the Honor 8 with these great light reflections. But on the other hand, and I didn't swipe on purpose so that you can see by yourself all these fingerprints here, of course. And last but not least, glass on the backside always means also you have double the problem in case it drops, so double the risk. Very different here, the OnePlus 3 with its aluminum unibody, meaning that metal backside is going over the frames onto the sides over here. So first, if it drops on the backside, you have way better chances here to survive, and not you, but your phone, of course, and you do not see any fingerprints at all. No matter how you look on it, definitely no fingerprints at all. So, of course, I know it's a question, a matter of design and personal taste, but just from the standpoint of how comfortable and from the risk and no risk, this one, the OnePlus 3 with its aluminum unibody, is the better choice. Then you have different sizes from the display and technologies here. It's kind of 5.2 inch, 5.14 to be precise, 131 millimeters. On the right, it's 5.48 inches, 139 millimeters. So in the area, this is 13% bigger. Both are Full HD, 1080 by 1920 pixels. So the pixel density is a little bit less here on the bigger one, but it doesn't mind really, because this is 428 ppi, 8% above the average, and this is 402 ppi, 4% below the average, but this is really nothing you should lay your buying decision onto, because this is so small a difference, you will not see that by your eye. And what I find very exciting is that both are exactly the same from the brightness. Here I measured 456 nits, that's 4% below the average for LCDs, and this is AMOLED, Super AMOLED Diamond Matrix, 455, so just 1 nit difference, and this is 25% above the average for OLEDs. So both are good readable in direct sunlight, for example, because both have the same brightness. And you remember, Super AMOLED always has this great contrast. This is dual domain IPS, so both have the same great viewing angle stability, maybe not 180%, but let's say 176, 178, whatever. So you do not see any significant change in contrast and colors, even if you look from very weird viewing angles onto it. So both are really top displays, top screens. Even if this is AMOLED, this is IPS and this is AMOLED, nevertheless, both are absolutely okay. Then you have, of course, a different processor inside. This is the Kirin 950, meaning you have 8 cores, 2.3 and 1.8 gigahertz and 4 GB of RAM. Here on the OnePlus, it's the Snapdragon 820, 4 cores only, but very powerful. 2.2 and 1.6 gigahertz and 6 GB of RAM. So in the benchmarks overall, more than 50 values, I calculate here this one, the Honor 8, is 55% above the average, rank 15, so top performance, and the OnePlus 3 is 80% above the average, rank 6. So there is a slight difference. You won't detect that in everyday life, I guess, or let's go into the settings, for example, to have this one here. So both are completely the same in everyday life, or when I'm starting here the apps like this. Yeah, exactly the same. So you will not mention it as a regular user, but in terms, let's say you're a gamer, want to have some, let's say 5 FPS frames per second more, or other apps that really need a little more horsepower here, then the OnePlus 3 might be the better choice, but even the Honor 8 is one of the top players, remember, rank 15. So everybody, I guess, for 90%, 95% of you that are interested. Then it's a different concept concerning the memory. Here we have 32 GB internal, makes net 20.1 GB free. And you have in this side over here, you have that hybrid slot, meaning you can insert a micro SD card up to 128 GB, or otherwise you can choose a second SIM card. So that hybrid slot dual SIM. Here we have real dual SIM, meaning you can insert two SIMs, yes, but unfortunately you cannot use it for micro SD, so you cannot expand the memory. On the other hand, here we have 64 GB internal, leaving net 51.6 GB. So in case this is enough for you, this is no problem. But I know some of you will not miss the SD cards and go for the Honor 8 with that. But you have to decide for yourself what you're doing and if 51.6 GB net are enough for you. Then 4G, 300 megabits per second, Wi-Fi SE, Bluetooth 4.2, NFC. You have that fingerprint sensor. It's here on the front and there on the back side. And this one is to a mechanical button to start apps or the flashlight. And I, by the way, tried out if there might be a difference in getting them started. It's a little bit tricky here on the Honor 8 on the left by doing it blind. Let me just... No, let me try one more time. Now, yeah, on the right side, it's a little bit quicker here, the OnePlus 3, but it's not really now significant. But you see, both are quick. So I wouldn't lay my buying decision on that too. Both have that micro SD Type-C slot here, meaning you can insert your cable both ways. And nowadays, maybe I should remember we have a 3.5 millimeters headphone jack here on both. So you have, of course, it's Android 6.6.0.601 here. So you mean even if we're talking about that Oxygen OS means operating system here, but this is for me just a user interface instead of an OS. So you have the complete apps from Android here on both, and you might have seen already these are the settings. This is a little bit more native here. The Emotion UI for one is a little bit more looking like you might know it from Huawei. Honor is a daughter from Honor, from Huawei, so it's of course the same operating system and user interface, especially here with this no app launcher and these designs of the icons here and everything. You can swipe on the left for notifications and swipe on the right for the shortcuts, for example. You will know that. Here we have some more comfort features, but the rest is really native stock vanilla Android. For these comfort features, please have a look on the original OnePlus 3 video. By the way, I blended in here so you can have a click and see a little bit more about the OnePlus 3, and this will you also lead to the Honor 8 video with more detailed information about this one. Yeah, and this brings us to the cameras. We have 8 megapixels on the front on both, and on the back side, yeah, here we have it. This is 11.8, but we have both two sensors here, combination of both sensor signals. So you have kind of double the light and double the information. And here it's a classical camera, but 16 GB, and especially only here you have that optical image stabilizer. Here we will have to see in the final review how the quality of the camera is doing, especially compared to the OnePlus 3, of course, but 16, 12, optical, not optical. Let's see. By the way, we have here that two-tone flash. This is just a single white LED, but you have here 4K video, just full HD, but this should be completely enough for most of you. And videos on the front, this is full HD once more, and here it's only 720p. This is for a price of $399, I guess a little bit short, even if it's, I guess, for most of you okay. Nevertheless, for the price performance ratio, I would have wished full HD here too, but never mind, it's not that big. Then you have, of course, some different, let's say, feeling, because you have 5.2 inch, 5.5 inch, of course. So you have here 71 millimeters, 75. Nevertheless, these 4 millimeters do a lot, especially because you can reach the opposite corner here, kind of without any problem. And here, this is kind of a, let's say, tap phone, phablet, whatever you call it. This is the bigger one. So this is for both hand usage. You can use the Honor 8 with one hand if you have to. So that is logical, I guess, on this size, even if this is only 5 millimeters in width. You have 7.4 millimeters here thickness, 7.6, 160 grams, 154. So this is not the thing that's I guess making your buying decision, but for last but not least, I guess it's the runtime of the battery. Both are fixed in, so you cannot remove it by yourself. And interestingly, both have 3000 milliamps. So you would say, okay, bigger display running shorter, but wait, that's why we are doing our runtime test. And here in the test, the Honor 8 did it for 436 minutes. That's 11% below the average. Nevertheless, means regular users will come through the day, but intense users, heavy users might have a good chance to recharge during the day. And here on the OnePlus 3 in the test, it's 549 minutes, 12% above the average, so meaning in direct comparison, the OnePlus is running 26% longer. So if you have that problem with going your battery down in the evening, you might definitely tend for the OnePlus 3. Nevertheless, it means if you're a heavy user, it depends on how heavy you are. If you're a mid-heavy user, you might come through the day. If you're almost all the day having your display on and gaming and whatever, of course, every phone will have them problems. But I guess you have better chances, at least with the OnePlus 3 in the direct comparison. So better runtime. Here, micro SD slots. You have here optical image stabilizer. Here, that double camera. So it's really a hard decision, and that different kind of optics and haptics and materials. So it's really hard. Nevertheless, I hope I could help you a little bit with your decision, as both are now available. Both are Android, both €399. Prices, of course, may vary depending on your country. I hope I could help you a little bit. Thanks for watching. Take care and bye.